Hello drivers. Today we're going to be talking about another pro tip that we're going to put out to you guys, but please remember, any of these things we show you, you've got to know your limitations and you got to know if you feel safe doing it. So even though it may be safe for us, it may not be safe for you in that exact environment, we're going to be very general in what we do. Today we're going to be talking about those frustrating days where it's beautiful sunshine and the worst thing that happens is that wind. The wind is the hardest thing for a flatbed driver. And you've got to know how can you work with that, and sometimes when not to even bother try. So we're going to show you a couple of tricks that you can use to keep yourself safe and prevent all these injuries that we know we can get on these. All right drivers, a couple of things you're going to see here. Please don't try to rate us on exactly what this load is. We know that we do a lot of things different, a lot of loads. This load here we're just using for instructional purposes. So what we have up here, if you guys can see in the video, we've done every other strap. Every other strap is over, hooked to the rub rail. This one here, the second one, is permanently fixed, or we've got it tight. It's hooked the correct way, edge protector. Every other one back to the rub rail. And also when we're throwing them and hooking them, this one here is tight. But this one here, we have loose enough. And we're hoping that this space right here is how much space we're gonna have on the top, because our goal is that we wanna be able to thread our tarp underneath every other strap. That's going to help us control that tarp, and no matter what that gust of wind is, this tarp is not going to be able to blow off, and it's not going to blow us off with it. All right drivers, here today we have Perry done up on top of this load, and as you notice, he has a luxury item sometimes we don't have. But please remember, if there's a fall restraint system or a harness system available, ladders, just anything you can do to keep from climbing up there, and something's going to help you out from falling off. But we also know we got some of those customers out there where they do not have this. So please do your best to stay to the center of the trailer as much as possible and away from the edges. And always, just like getting in the truck, try to keep 3 points of contact when you're on your hands and knees. Try to keep 3 points of contact if you are near the edges, be on your hands and knees. So what Perry's going to do here, if you notice, we're going to, for this instruction purpose, we're not going to do both tarps front and back. We're just going to work on the front, so we have this visual aid for all of you. So what Perry's going to do is he's going to take the front of the tarp, and he is going to line it up like we would normally do. But the difference is he's going to slide it underneath that front tarp. He's going to line it up. Now from this point forward, as he unrolls it, he's going to roll, so he's underneath the front strap. He's over the second tarp, and he's going to start weaving. Now he's going to go underneath that third strap. And again, if it's windy, you may find yourself on your hands and knees the whole entire time during this process. Now he's going to continue over top the fourth strap, underneath the fifth strap. And you're going to do that weaving motion all the way through it. And what this is going to do is, while you're opening it, when the wind tries to catch it, it's not going to allow it to blow off the trailer, because one of the injuries the drivers seem to get in these is pulled shoulders, pulled tendons, and also they could be thrown from the truck, especially if they're standing on that tarp. He's going to fix any of his straps, always remaining in the center as much as possible. And now he's going to open it. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to open it to a point where when he gets towards that edge, he can hopefully get that tarp to hang down over the edge enough that later on we can come down off the trailer and we can grab the edges and fix the trailer from the ground. So we want to be up here doing as little as possible, on the edge as little as possible. And if there is a big strong gust of wind, please drop to your hands and knees and wait that gust out. Here he is now, adjusting again onto the fifth strap. You're going to do this obviously on both sides. So you can see here, once you pull down part of that back, you're going to be able to work from the ground, working them sides down. So all Perry has to do is really get the front and the back edges, the hang down he has there. If he does the same into the front, we know we can do it. And please remember, guys, watch out for a trip hazard while we're up there, because we do know that those tarps are going to have that strap elevated a little bit, and we do not want to get tripped on that and turn one hazard into another. Welcome back, drivers. Again, I just want to give you another recap of what we did. As you seen earlier, all we did was put our straps on. Every other one of them we threw over. Every other one of them was tight, but the ones that were loose, we hooked to the rub rail. Now when we're done, we're going to unhook it off the rub rail. We know we don't want to roll like that. We're going to hook it back. That's going to meet our company policy and how we secure our tie downs. The big thing you got to take away from this is the time you put into it in the front is time you're going to save at the end. Because we've all had those tarps try to blow off, or we've had them come completely off. Now you got to re-roll your tarps, get somebody out there, put them back up. And that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you've been blown off the trailer. You have a time loss injury. Now you're wondering how you're going to do the job. Maybe you're permanently disabled. These are some of the things you can do to keep that from happening. But please remember, you're the one that's responsible for your safety. You're the one that's got to know, are you even comfortable to do it even in 30 mile an hour wind, 40 mile an hour? You're the one that's got to gauge that. And please, when it's high wind, watch out for that severe weather too. If it's raining, maybe we're talking about a whole different scenario. But again, to recap this thing again, every other strap, weave under it, and as you see, pull it down, button it up, and you're down the road like normal. You've only added maybe 15, 20 minutes to your whole trip. And that's worth not losing years off your life. Have a good day, drivers.